welcome to my channel, All Things GarageBand. I'm Jeremy Haas. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about and show you guys how to use the iRig 2 product along with the amp sims and stomp boxes that come with GarageBand for your iPhone. And so what the iRig 2 product is, it's a portable guitar interface that you can plug into your iPhone and then plug your electric guitar or electric bass into that and access the amp sims and the stomp boxes and record and make yourself a demo. You know, it's pretty sick. I've been using it forever, like forever with my iPad and iPhone before I got a Mac, you know. And so it's great because you also can use your iPhone GarageBand on your iPhone or iPad, and you can use it to, you know, to use it as a portable recording DAW. Go record somewhere else, bring it home, and then transfer everything up. If you've got a Mac, transfer everything and edit it there. If not, if you're using your iPhone to edit on, there's not much surface space. It's really hard to get around and do cuts and stuff like that with that little area. So it's a good idea to get like maybe a wireless mouse or keyboard that will work with your iPhone or iPad, and then you can cut it up a little easier, a lot easier to edit that way. I think it is. But anyways, you might have smaller fingers than I do. But so yeah, so let me just real quick, I'm just going to kind of show you if you could see it. There's input here. You plug your electric guitar into this bad boy right here. You plug your headphones into here. And one thing about recording audio, or even anytime you're recording and you want to have wired headphones, and you've got to have wired, I think, with this anyways, but you want to always, even if you're just if you're recording just with GarageBand on your iPhone, okay? Because without any guitar stuff, you're just doing loops, whatever. Loops don't matter, but when you're like doing any type of recording where you're actually playing the instruments, the MIDI instruments and stuff, and it's because what happens with I don't know if you've noticed this, but with Bluetooth headphones, there's a ping, like you'll hit it and it takes a second to hit. So you'll be recording to a click and you'll try to play in time and it'll be off and it'll throw you off. And it's almost impossible to do it that way. The only thing that Bluetooth headphones are good for when recording like that is for the playback, because then it plays back in time. But it's whenever you're trying to record, you know, manually, you're gonna have a problem. So get yourself a good pair of wired headphones, and for this you're gonna need that anyways. And you plug that bad boy in there, like I was saying. You've got a gain volume here, right here, and you got an effects through switch here, okay? The effects through switch has got to do with the iRig product didn't come with this, but iRig 2 does. They had an update where you can then take this end and to your output. It's an output to your amp or speakers if you don't have an amp, okay? And then you plug this in your iPhone, and then you can access the amp sims and stomp boxes and use this and the iPhone and GarageBand as like a effects pedal and play through your speakers and play out loud and distortion, you know, reverb, all that cool stuff. You know, it's pretty neat what you can do with it. Plus, you know, obviously you can record them in GarageBand. So what I'll do is and the one other thing I need to mention is you'll need one of these if you don't have a headphone jack, because this goes into a headphone jack on your iPhone. It's an older iPhone. It takes it's got a lightning jack and no headphone jack, so I have to have like this connector converter, whatever you want to call it, that I plug into my iPhone or iPad. And then I plug this into the headphone jack, and then I have a charge it also at the same time if I want to. Okay, so I will leave a link out in the descriptions for the iRig product, iRig 2 portable guitar interface, and also these guys right here. Okay, so I'll leave a link also for the lightning jacks, and also for if you have a C, because most new iPhones have C, you know, and iPads have C USB. Okay, and one other thing I forgot to mention is the iRig products. You also get a bunch of free extra amp sims and effects and stuff like that. There's a code that comes with it that you can look up and download and stuff like that and use in GarageBand. It's sick. So I think I explained everything, and let's get to the video. All right, guys, woo, let's do this. All right, guys, if you guys are following along, this is the front page here, iPhone, GarageBand's GarageBand for your iPhone, okay? And so first off, to get started, remember we got everything plugged in. We got our iRig ready to go. We got our guitar plugged in our iRig, okay? Remember your guitar volume's on, everything is turned up, because and your gain's turned up on your iRig, so everything's turned on for sure, like you're ready to roll, okay? because it will trip you up later. You're like, why didn't this work? Why didn't this work? Because there's a lot of different things you got to switch on to make sure everything's working, and just make sure on that end you're golden, you know. Because I forget all the time. That's why I'm saying it. So let's go and hit. We're gonna hit, and I'll call out what buttons I'm pushing, because with iPhone, of course, we're touching. It's touchscreen. I'm using my mouse here to kind of show you where I'm going with my fingers, but I'll forget once in a while. I apologize if I do, but I'll try to call out what I'm doing. So let's go and we're gonna hit this plus to start a new project. And okay, so these are our windows, our instruments, and different things like that, sounds. And so we're gonna swipe to the left. There we are. Okay, and you can just keep swiping it wherever you're at till you find this window here. These are your amps, okay? And these are your amp, different, your like clean. This is your distorted. This is your bass. So also this works bass guitar also. iRig 2 also works with bass guitar. And I forgot to say that in the beginning because I play bass also. So first we're just going to start with clean to get started with, and we're going to click on clean. Okay. So now we've got that. This is, don't worry about this. This is my deal because I'm screen recording. That's why that happened. And let me turn down this. Okay, so maybe I should turn it up so I can hear it a little bit. All right, so okay, now next is this is our clean, one of our clean amps, but before we do anything, I want to take you over to this guy. See that? That's picking up my voice from the microphone on my iPhone. And that green signal it's actually picking up the signal, but that's what you'll want it to do when you plug your guitar in. This is that guitar plug you're going to go in. So if you're plugged in your phone, go over to this. You probably don't hear your guitar yet, okay? The reason is go ahead and click on that little plug, and we're going to go down to right here, monitor, okay? This is your, this is your monitor. This will tell you, this is input monitor, so you can hear yourself playing. This will be your playback, your sound. So turn that on, okay, and that will keep your that's so you can hear yourself. Let me see if I can. Yep, you can hear. I didn't realize this, but it's catching my voice this whole time talking. Let me turn it. Now it's not. Okay, so you can see it where, okay, it wasn't doing it the whole time. So when I turn that on, see it's catching the mic, because I don't have my iRig plugged in because that little piece I was talking about is broken. So it's capturing my voice right now. I'm going to turn that off, but you guys keep that on, okay? So you probably heard some delay there, some weird sound there when I had that on. But so that's so that you can hear your guitar. Now, noise gate is you'll want to use this when you're using distortion and you're turning up your gain. Because noise gate will, it's like it will help get, the more you turn it up. So like say you strum your guitar and let it ring out, or whenever you let go of that guitar and you got distortion on, it's gonna go, or it's gonna go, it's gonna give this horrible feedback, not like a cool feedback either. So you can turn that up the more you want to get rid of more feedback, but also the more you turn it up, the less sustain it will have. So when you strum it and it's like playing out, it'll cut that off sooner. So be careful how high you turn this up, okay? I think you can turn this on automatic too. Nope, that's just turning it off. Okay, so let's hit done. So we're golden there. Okay, so next, this is our guitar amp head right here. It's already got its own cabinets, so we don't have to worry about the speakers and stuff. But right now we're going to go over, this is right here, this button right here is so you can turn up your gain, your master, your output, your presence, reverb, your EQs, and your tremolo, your effects and stuff like that, okay? So, and let me explain gain. Gain is, you turn your gain up to, it's more distortion. So if you have a distorted amp, or, that turns up your distortion, your gain, and so even clean, it will start to distort a little bit when you turn up. It'll make it a little louder too. Same with crunch, it'll start to distort it more, okay? And then fuller sound also, I should say. Master is like your master volume on your amp, okay? That's your final volume, okay? That you'll turn those up for volume and for gain and fullness, okay? But output is still a volume, but it's not a volume. It's a signal output. So that's your signal. You don't want to turn that up too high. You want to leave that for last. That's your, so if your signal's too quiet or too loud, no matter what you do, you don't want it too loud, you don't want it to clip, you don't want it to go in the red, you don't want it to clip your signal and digitally distort. That's not a good distortion. it will not sound good through. It won't play through these amp in your sims right, in your plugins right. Let's put it that way. So so you don't want to turn your output up too much, okay? You want to keep this right down the middle or where it's at, kind of leave it alone and deal with these two to get your volumes, okay? So, but if it's too loud, you hear it distorting naturally when you strum your guitar, even on the clean. But this I'm talking about, make sure this is turned down a little bit, okay? That's the only way I can explain this on there, really. Presence is kind of like a brightness. It's not treble, but it's close. It's bright, a bright sound, and you also have reverb, which is like not an echo, but it's a like a hall, like playing in bigger and bigger places. So you can turn that up to make it sound like you're in a bigger and bigger place. You got EQs, your bass, mids, and treble. That's your lows, mids, and your highs. And tremolo is it's a ping pong. It'll go wah 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 back and forth between your ears, and with using the depth and speed will speed that up, and the depth it goes too. Okay, and so that's your controls right there. So we're gonna click off that. Okay, real quick. Next is your tuning fork, so you can tune your guitar, and just click on that, and you can tune your guitar there. And so before we go, these are your stomp boxes. We'll go there in a second. First off, I want to go through the different amp heads and how you can get different amp heads, okay? So let's go over to this little arrow here. We're going to click on that, and you're going to go down here is where we can change our amp sims. Okay, there we go. So there's clean, all your different cleans. This is the clean section, and all the different cleans. You can go through it and try all these different cleans. Some of them have effects on them, some don't. Some have reverb on them. Some have probably Cool Jazz probably has a chorus on it. The clean wah has a wah, like a auto wah on it, I'm sure. So if you want something real just normal and clean, most likely clean combo or clean stack will work. Reverb 50s Rock will have reverb on it. Okay, so crunch is kind of like slightly distorted. It's halfway in between clean and distortion. Crunch is like that, it's yeah, that's the only way I can explain that really right now. So you can go through and check all these different crunches out, and you can see these amps kind of they're supposed to emulate or model after like certain amps. This looks like a Marshall, so it's going to sound a little bit more like a Marshall. This looks like the orange cabinet and head. It's going to sound more like orange, more like a fuzzy distortion, I guess. This is supposed to be like an American made, American. I'm not for sure exactly, but yeah. So you got all these different ones. You got a brown up here. Yeah, that looks kind of like brown honky tonk. Let's keep going. Yeah, those are different Marshall, different sounds, different crunches. You're going to see in distortion. We're going to get some Mesa boogies and stuff like that. So distortion's next. One of my favorite. You got Marshall. You got right here's your Mesa Boogie, your twin trim. I forget what, not Fender. I just said twin reverb. Your Mesa Boogie. I can't remember it right now. My brain's dead. Anyways, Mesa Boogie. It's so really you got your heavy wah, so it's gonna have distortion and it's gonna have like a auto wah on it. Industrial overdrive. That's a pretty good one. Modern metal. I like right here. Modern metal. You got your punk rock. Seattle sound, that looks like a Fender kind of twin, I think. I can't tell, it's kind of small. But yeah, so you got all your different ones you can try out here. And the cool thing, like I said, you can fine tune it with the thing I showed you earlier on how you can turn up the gain or turn it down, whatever. Add the things in. So here's process. This will have like there'll be like a lot of reverb in here, chorus as you can see right here, delays, auto wah again, all that stuff there. Okay. So and also you can go right here to get more amp sounds and click on that, and that'll take you to the sound library. Now the sound library is really cool. There's a bunch of stuff here you can go here and download. So we're gonna go to this area right here, content packs, and we're gonna hit see all. Now you can go to find more amp sims. You're going to go right here. There's a bunch of amp sims here. Let me hit that, and you can go and preview all the different guitar sounds and effects that come with this amp. And then also know this. Go down to the bottom here. You can see what if you download this how much of a how much memory it's going to take up. That's not taking much up. That's crazy, not much. Anyways, hit preview right here, and you'll get it. Sorry.
it'll give you different previews of the different sounds, clean and crunch and distortion alike, you know. Try one more. A lot of reverb and delay on that. A little bit of chorus maybe. Big moon dome reverb. Anyways, okay, so that's good. So let's go back, and so there's also down at the very bottom, I believe there. Yep, right here there is bass. These are bass, your bass amp packs. You know, bass sounds for your bass guitar. Let me check that out real quick. Let's look at this one. There's 3 bass effects down here, and only 1 millibyte. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, megabyte. Preview. It's got everything, all different. And it's also not just. It's got loops and stuff like that from it. As you can see, there's modern rock, hip hop, gritty punk, funk, all that stuff. Okay, and it's got amps and stomp-box alike. It's got some distortion or crunch on the bass there. Pretty neat. And this is showing you bass with other instruments on it, of course. So let's go back. And there's another thing I really want to show you, that once you started recording your bass and your guitar tracks down, you can also add in, now say you don't have a drum kit and mics and stuff like that, you can go to, I really like this one, it's Rock Drummer, but they have hip hop, they have R&B drummer. You can go to all of them, download them. Now they've got different drummers, which is like a session drummer, which is like a live loop that you can change why it's playing to fit your genre and your type of music. Also, this one's got 3 different kits that it has, and it's got 30 different drummer loops. Okay, and you can see this has got a lot. This takes up a lot more memory. Okay, so because this is MIDI files, so 50 there. And so let me hit preview so you kind of get an idea of the different sounds you can get with this. That's the hard rock drummer and the heavy kit. Hard rock song. And there's Indo-disco, there's Indo-rock, and indie disco. These are different drummers and different kits you can get with it, okay? So we're not going to go through all of them, and I'm not going to go through all these sample packs, but let me give you just kind of one more example. Here's a flick. Here, this will have some hip-hop drum kits, loops, and drummers on it. Hit preview and show you what I mean. Chill hip-hop. They got 400 Apple loops on this one. This has got a lot of different loops you can mess with. And so this is great to have these drum kits to be able to record with your guitars and bass, so you can have a final sound, finished product, at least a decent demo, you know. I'm not going to go through all this, so we're going to go back and we're going to go to content packs, and we're going to get out of here. It just keeps going on. There's drum kits, finished drum kits, drum machines, all kinds of stuff in here. Okay, R&B drummer. It just goes on for days. So we're going to go up to the sound library. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go to done. There's all kinds of other stuff you can check out in here too. There's producer stuff, all kinds of stuff. So okay, now we're back here. I'm going to take you over. And also, you can switch your amps by swiping left to right. You know, there's your Marshall head, there's your Mesa Boogie, okay? There's your, and that's a Mesa Boogie, I forgot it's called a rectifier. That's why it looks like a rectifier. That's why I couldn't remember earlier. My bad, because I love rectifiers. Retarded. Okay, so you got all these different ones. Looks like Fender, looks like an orange right here. Looks like a Fender, kind of. Brown, you know, brown. And this is a direct like box, a direct, amp. So anyways, next is oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I showed you, never mind. This is your stomp boxes. So this is where you'll go and come down here, and you can hold these down and throw them, like put your finger on it, throw it, put your finger, and you'll get rid of them. And then you can tap this and add in your own. Now this is a phaser, so you'll put these onto your amps to give them different effects to add to that amp. Okay, like this is a phaser, which is I can't explain it really. It's kind of like an in and out sound. Now these are your drives. These will boost your signal, boost your sound. These are like the overdrives, basically. So these two. are overdrives, and so it'll make your distorted more distorted, so you can do really cool squeals and harmonics. It'll bring up, it'll really tighten up some amps, like clean and crunch, make it a little bit more distorted, more heavy. This is a distortion type of distortion fuzz machine, extra distortion. This is a chorus, a beautiful, really pretty sound. It's the only way I can explain that. You've got a flanger, which is kind of like the phaser up at the top. Got the vibe. I won't get into that. Auto funk is kind of like is like an auto wah. It's like a wah pedal that does it, that moves on its own. I think that's how I explain that. Now blue echo is your delay. So delay, or delay, or delay. Slap back, or delay. Yeah, you get the idea. I don't need to keep doing that, idiot. Okay, so move down here. You got your compressor. You're not going to use that much, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't use it in mixing. That's different. You use it all the time in mixing. But modern wah, this is your wah pedal. This is really cool. And so, I forgot to tell you, you can also add. You only can have up to 3, but you can add 3 in here if you want. Up to 3 different pedals. So you can add all these in. This is your wah, and you can grab it. I'm sorry, you can add 4. There's 4 altogether. My bad. So let's watch what I mean. You can, there you got 4, okay? But you also can grab it and pull these and move them to different, because you want the wah probably at the end of all these, and you want the chorus after the distortion, okay, or the overdrive. So here's your wah, and this you can. The way you got to go up here and click on your little, and that you can play the wah with your finger on your screen and change the sound of it right with this little cue right here, and you can turn it on and off. But yeah, and also this is really cool. Let me go back up here, and I guess this is kind of a new thing, but you can click on this, and this actually is like a camera, or it uses your camera to read your facial expressions, so you can actually play the wah. I believe it works with the wah pedal, so you can use your face expressions to actually make that wah pedal work, or turn on and off certain pedals, So it's pretty. Check it out. That's a trip. It's something new. As a trip. It's okay. So you probably know how to use the rest of all the record and play and all that stuff. But I'm going to show you a little bit more real quick what you can do with. You can start multi-tracking. Okay. So let me hit record real quick. I'm not going to record anything. I'm just going to get it so there's something on the track there, so I can show you. So there we go. Okay, so we got. But okay, one other thing I want to get to. You probably already know this, but if you don't, this is good to know. This little plus over here, because all you get is eight bars here, 8 measures, 8 bars, whatever you want to call it. And then, so if you want more, which you obviously want more, you're going to go to set down right here, 8 bars, and you're going to go switch on this automatic, and now it'll record as long as you want it to. You can go ahead and record as long as you want. Go ahead and turn that on, keep that on. Okay, so we recorded this first track. Say there's a guitar part. I laid down a guitar part. We're all good. Now I'm going to click on this guy to track. Okay, this is the editing window, and that should be an amp, but I don't know why I did. Anyway, so we'll say that's an amp sim. We're gonna hit plus here. We're gonna add another amp sim in here. Okay. So if you're using distortion and you're doing a distortion track, you're going to lay one to your left ear and one to your right ear. 2 different takes. So let's say this is the second take of a distorted track, a distortion guitars. You're laying down some rock or metal or something, okay? Or it could be clean. You're laying down some surf tracks or whatever, some chill stuff. So now you've got both those guitar tracks down. You're going to go back over here, and so here, say you got them, good. If not, you can edit them here. But what I'm trying to show you is this is really cool. You can pull this out with your finger and do it here, or you can go up to the. Well, hold on. Let's stay right here. So this is, you can change the volumes here, obviously. But let me see what else. Let me find out. Let me go here. Let me change this. Oh yeah, I know how to do this. This is a different. Okay, so now we've got this. Let's go ahead and close this. We've got the volumes we want on there. This is how you change the left. So you pan each guitar. You want to pan one to your left and one to your right. You go over to the little settings window and go to track controls. That way we can go over to a pan and we can take this one. This is we're going to the right ear. The top one here, up here. That'll change it. We're going to turn that up, of course, and then we want to go to that to the left ear. And try doing that when you're tracking guitars, and do two, one left, one right, and do another one left, another one right, and I'll tell you, your sound will get bigger and bigger. Just take your takes as close as possible. Okay? And then you can go add more plugins here. Down here you can add a compressor, treble, bass. You can go down and master effects, which you can add like a master, reverb, and echo. And you can go change by going there, you can go and change the different type of echoes. So one of these would be like hello, 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 and hello, hello. You know, longer and longer. And same with the reverb, you can do that. And one other thing I want to show you, go up to here to plugins, EQ. So if you want to do more than just treble and bass, you can go down, turn this visual on, that power button right there. And then you can actually, from here, you can pull with your fingers, you can take out some mids, add in some treble, or put up some mids, bass, you know, that kind of stuff, okay? And that's some volume for your EQs. So if you put a lot of EQs in there, you can take down the volume a little bit, because it'll just keep getting louder and it'll clip your signal. But anyways, so you keep doing that, and then once you've got some guitar tracks done, if you've got a bass guitar or not, whatever, you can go, we're going to go back, and we're going to click on this to get rid of that little screen. We're going to go down and hit plus here, and now we're going to go to bass, and we're going to add in bass guitar and some bass amps, okay? This is a bass amp, classic bass amp, and here's a direct bass amp, and another, this is a direct box. This is a flip top bass amp. And then you got this right here, okay? Modern amp. Okay, so those all give you different sounds, and they got pedals for those, all that kind of stuff. So lay down some bass tracks with it, add in those, and then I just want to show you, I know this is different than just showing you the iRig and how to do amp sims, but I might as well, while we're here, just kind of get so you don't have to watch each video to understand this. Now go and hit plus. Now pull to the right hand side with your finger and go down to acoustic drums. Now you can add in your drums and record your drums to those tracks, and you have a nice little demo going on, okay? And like I was telling you about the Pre 2, it's called the iRig Pre 2. That one takes 2 AA's, and you can plug a microphone into that, okay? So so now you got drums, bass, and guitars done. Say you want to add in some vocals. You can go down and hit plus right here, and we're going to swipe, swipe, swipe. Either way will take you to them. And we're going to find audio right here, okay? Voice or instrument. It depends. It doesn't matter. Either one works, but one will be for acoustic guitars or different wood instruments, whatever, string instruments, you know, voice. And then the same thing with the guitar as you would with this, the plug. You'd go in, you plug your iRig or your iRig Pre 2 into your iPhone, like you did the iRig, and you plug your microphone into that, like any actual microphone. And with an XLR cable, and you also can buy one. I don't know the name of it, but it's also an iRig product that you can do a USB microphone into it, and then turn on this. You can hear yourself sing and add vocal effects onto it and all kinds of stuff. And then you can actually do a demo with audio tracks. It's sick. You can actually do some cool stuff. And besides just MIDI, you can, even if you're just doing MIDI and you want to add some vocals, you can do it this way with vocals. I think I've started